The right career choice will give you and your loved ones security now and the future. The best careers at lower tuition fees. Next generation job security. Six-figure income security. Financial independence and a chance at early retirement. Hot Next Gen Careers, LLC, is at the cutting edge of next generation careers. Secure a brighter future. Contact us today for more details.
Today, I have a very exceptional talent in studio, as usual. And what makes her exceptional? She is a U.S. Army veteran who has served the country for quite a number of years. But along with this, she has a master's degree in education, and she commits a lot of her time to empowering young people. And to speak to truth, she has registered recently Hot Next Gen Career LLC. And what this program does, it provides internship for young people that really gives them the kind of exposure to career path that sets them up to be great leaders in the future. Her program, her pathway literally accelerates the pace in which young people can learn and grow and become a greater asset to organization. So I want to ask you to join me in welcoming no other than Michelle on stage. Michelle, how are you today?
Oh, thank you so much, Gary. Wow, what a great introduction. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
I must say it's my pleasure to have you here. And I first of all want to acknowledge your service to the U.S. And you have served today. You're a veteran. And what I love about you, you're taking all of those experiences, you're taking your knowledge and education, and you have packaged it, and now you're up leveling it in a way to truly transform young people's lives. Today, I also have two of the intern mentees that is here with us today, and I will bring them up on stage just now for them to share what their experience has been like in working with Michelle internship program. But just before I bring up our two guests, I want to talk with Michelle a little bit more just to get to understand her. So Michelle, let's talk a little bit about your experience as a veteran and what has that experience been like for you?
Thank you. So I used all of the platforms that were available to me, all of the opportunities available to advance my career. I am obviously courageous to take on joining the service. I was a Chinese intel analyst, and I did everything in my power. That I enlisted in the army to learn Mandarin because I thought it would be a marketable skill. Back to career and career readiness. I enlisted in the army after I had a bachelor's degree from the George Washington University, a very prominent university. So I thought, oh, I'll graduate from this great school and I'll get this great job. That didn't happen for different reasons relating to the economy, politics, whatever. So I said, okay, let me get another marketable skill. I'll learn Mandarin. I'll join the military. That will get me that great job that they've alluded to in my life that I should be able to get. If you do this and you do this and you work hard and you check the right boxes and you go to the right schools, you should get that X job that you are looking for. You should be able to
That's
attain it.
right.
But what I found is that doesn't necessarily happen. And so no matter how many skills you have, no matter how many great schools you go to, how many degrees you get, it's not necessarily about playing that game. And then I became a teacher. Like you said, I was an educator, a K through 12 even teacher for many years, also playing the game that I thought I was supposed to be playing until I don't want to say I looked up one day, but after years of playing this game and kind of staying in the same place, I thought, wait a second, I have way too many accolades. I've done way too much for me to be kind of stuck in a role. Not that, I mean, being a teacher, God bless all of the teachers out there. But we need to, I started looking around for different career opportunities, especially also because my daughter is the same age as the intern. She will be a senior in high school. And for her to guide her as a parent, parents need to know what is going on with the career fields, not just for me to get a leg up in my career field, but for my daughter to see what is out there, what is relevant, because just playing the game that people tell you to play, going to the great school, getting the accolades that you're supposed to get, doesn't necessarily produce the results that you want. And so I want to give students the opportunity, and that's why I created it as this podcast, as an internship for high school will be seniors, to explore what other possibilities might be out there, either within the 4-year undergraduate degree program, or within the 2-year associate degree programs or certificate programs, but really to introduce students to the job trends that are going on right now. And so I've written a book about to be published called New Careers for Teenagers, and we're also going through in the internship that book. But basically, the job trends are changing, and being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a teacher, being a bank teller, it's not what it used to be, and it might not even exist anymore. It might not exist anymore, period, or it might not exist anymore the way that we know it. So whether we like it or not, we need to get with the program. And the best place to do it are the high school students that are looking towards the careers and seeing what is out there. What should I be gearing myself towards? Because even as a doctor, the payouts aren't the same as they were 20 years ago. And so if you think that being a doctor is the end all be all, and then you've reached success and you'll be rich and successful and happy, not necessarily. So I want the students to have a broad idea of what you can expect in the future by delving into the trends of the future, the careers of the future, how to get those careers, what they pay, and will it make sense? So you have to explore that kind of now before it's too late and people pick colleges that are potentially overpriced or not a good bang for the buck, pick majors that potentially might be obsolete or are geared towards something that was great in the past and might not be great in the future. So this whole broad spectrum look at the hottest career predictions and trends of the future. And that's what we're trying to do right now. And we're just a new internship when we're a new podcast. We have some interviews. It's interesting. It's exciting, but we're really at the beginning. So yeah, we're excited.
It's an exciting period, I mean, in the life of your business. And we're going to talk a whole lot about that shortly. Michelle, what I want to say, I love the way you articulated yourself around what you're doing. And this is one of the reasons for quite some time we have been calling for an academic audit. Why? Because of exactly all the above that you have just said. You know, very often we are taught to go to school, get a good education, get a good job, and at the end of the day, you're supposed to be embracing a good quality, exciting life. But that's not so. We're seeing highly educated with a degree, master's degree, you're still going paycheck to paycheck because the salary remains a certain way, but inflation continues to go through the roof. So it reduces the spending power of the dollar. And what you're saying makes a lot of sense. You know, you're going to take a lot of, debt in most cases to pay for your academics. And then you struggle for 10, 15, 20, 30 years to pay down on that debt. And then you have a career, that is obsolete. You studied in a field that is not relevant to where the market is today. So I really love what you're saying, and we're going to do a further deep dive into what your platform is all about. I know it's important, absolutely necessary. But what I want to do now, with your permission, is to bring up two of your students, two of your interns, to share with us what their experience is like working, studying with your operation. All right. So first of all, I want to bring up Wilfredo. Hi, Wilfredo. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Great to have you here today. And next, I want to bring up Alice. Alice, how are you today?
Hello, pretty good, thank you.
Okay. Well, I want to talk with you. Both of you. You have been intern at Hot Next Gen Career Podcasts and LLC. You have been working with Michelle. I'm going to start with Wilfredo. Wilfredo, can you tell me a little bit why you joined the internship with Michelle?
The reason why I joined the internship with Michelle was because I wanted to learn about different job opportunities. Because my parents always tell me to get like a traditional job, like a lawyer, being a doctor, a teacher, like things like that. And I wasn't really interested in that. So I wanted to explore the options that I had. And then I saw this internship in my email, and I was like, oh, this is a good way to explore my options. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Were you able to learn different career paths that inspired you and tell you that this is the path that you want to be on?
The topic that we started to discuss was about AI. And since AI is becoming really popular, it opens different careers like AI and machine learning specialist. That's something that it's new to me. And I feel like I want to do something with AI now because that's the future. So I'm interested in learning more about it.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. And one of the things that you did mention to me early on is that the cost to pursue study in these particular paths is significantly lower. And I guess yourself and your family were excited about that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
some of these are 6-month programs or 3-month programs, and then you
program.
can, and then they have some of these schools have job placement. Companies are like chomping at the bit to get to these certified AI data engineers or whatever the names of the program manager for AI, and the starting salaries median range is like as much as I was making as a teacher after 15 years. So these are things that are needed. People like Wilfredo, who's young and is able to just start a career, or even for people who are transitioning, looking at obsolete careers in the next few years and looking to where to transition. I think it would be useful information for them too, that in a few months you can get certified in something relating to AI that you can then turn around and make 6 figures on. Amazing.
But that's beautiful. And Michelle, I want to compliment you for embarking on this journey. I know that you spent quite some time studying various career paths before you actually embark on this journey of really helping young people, high school students, to get the right information so they can make better life's decision, better careers decision that is going to impact their lives, for quite a long time. And just listening to Wilfredo, I know that he's on the ball. He had wanted to do something that is relevant to today and is going to go way into the future. And there's where we mentioned AI, artificial intelligence, and he connected with that. I must say, Michelle, you're doing a good job. I can see the smile on the Wilfredo face, for the experience that he would have had. But let me ask you another question before I come over to Alice. Wilfredo, what has your experience been like working with Michelle and as an intern and the projects that she's doing? Has she been good to you guys?
Yeah, she's very yeah, she's very positive. She's very informational. That she talks to us in a way that we are a team. It's not like she's our boss and we're just like the members. No, she's just like a team, and I feel like that's a great thing because it's a reason why I'm here. Like, like the way that somebody treats you is how it goes a long way. Like
Leadership
Yeah.
skills are so important,
yeah.
and that we are part of a team, and that we're connected, because you and I, Gary, both know that these guys, the Wilfredos and the Alices of the world, are the leaders. They are the true leaders that are coming up. They know, we both were talking yesterday, Gary, about how we have to hand things over to our children, technology, in order to get something fixed. So there's no me at the top because I'm older, more experienced, you at the bottom because you're younger. There's less and less of that. And so I do want to be connected and have this kind of hierarchy more interconnected than a top-down approach. That doesn't seem to make sense anymore.
I know we spoke about this, Michelle, and that's something that I truly admire about you, and because you have what I call a flat leadership approach. You may be the leader, you may be, the brain behind, but then you make every single person that are with you feel and know that they are a significant part of the ecosystem. And I do believe that that is a demonstration of great leadership, where you're preparing the young people, you're passing the baton. Let me say this in conclusion before I come to Alice. Very often we say that the young people, they're the future of tomorrow. But one of the things that we see many adults fail to do is to pass the baton and prepare them. And what I love about what you're doing, you are not only talking the talk, you're walking the walk. And here we have, Wilfredo and Alice to testify to the great work that you are doing to truly touch and transform their lives and truly prepare them for a next generation of growth and development. So again, I want to say kudos to you, Michelle, and keep doing the great work that you're doing. Without further delay, and I want to come straight to Alice. How are you, Alice?
I'm doing well.
I'm so glad to hear that. Why did you become a mentor at Hot Next Gen Career LLC?
I joined the Next Hot Gen Career podcast as an intern because I was eager to explore public speaking and improve my communication skills. Working on the podcast allowed me to engage with diverse topics and inform me as a person as well, which was a great way to build my confidence and refine my public speaking abilities. Since as I predicted in the future, I'm definitely gonna have to interview people and broadcast something
I
else.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. What I want to say is that you are on a very exciting career path because I know the training that you're going to get from Michelle is going to prepare you to become an influencer. And guess what? Influencers are among the highest paid people in the world. I love what you're saying, but I know I interrupted you a little bit. You can continue saying what you're saying. All to you, Alice.
As I was saying, I see this as a valuable opportunity to not only learn from others, but also share insight that I could, as a student, a high school student, that I learned in this internship and from other people as well.
Great. Love to hear that. So you have a very dynamic program, Michelle, because Wilfredo, he's learning artificial intelligence, and Alice, she is being prepared for the world of public speaking and journalism.
Yeah, I'm so proud of these guys. I mean, coming on to whatever interview I have, I say just show up, and they show up with their best, and they listen, and they're attentive and very professional. You guys are doing great. Young, old, everything. You guys are able to bend and be comfortable with whatever guest. If we're a guest or if we're doing the interviews, you guys are really coming to the table and being flexible. And I think that's this continual learning path that Alice and Wilfredo are on. I think will really benefit them, to show them to how to be flexible in the very least, how to be flexible and deal with every type of person, every age of person, every ability or lack of ability of people. So I think it's you guys are doing such a great job. So far, so good. We're new, but we're learning, and that's the most important thing. And if I can reach through a podcast, reach a few more Alice's and a few more Wilfredos who say, "Oh, wait a second, I didn't know that about this type of career, and that it only costs that, and it only takes this long, and you can make this much salary." If I can reach a few more like that, then I can go out of this world happy that I helped to make a difference for the future of these youngsters.
Yeah. What I also want to say is that not that I'm taking away anything from Alice, but I want to, really compliment the work that you're doing, Michelle, because looking at Alice, she's very young, and having the ability to appear in a podcast, having the ability to speak so eloquently and confidently doesn't come natural to the majority of people. I could recall many years ago, I was a Toastmaster. We had a young lawyer who was at the lectern attempting to present their table topic. And that person say one word, two word, three word, and then completely freeze after that period, and they became completely nervous. But it's a skill set that you have to be acclimatized to. So I'm certain that perhaps the climatization and socialization that you have passed your students to, perhaps is one of the results why we have Alice here today. What your experience has been like, Alice, working with Michelle and her program, the internship?
I would say my experience from this like internship was like really positive. I really enjoyed talking to my peers as well as Michelle, because as Wilfredo had said, it was a really open environment, and like with an open environment, everybody was comfortable, and with a good space that we could work at, I felt that we could work efficiently and as well as feel more comfortable with one another.
All right, thanks for that answer. All right, is there anything else, Wilfredo? Do you want to share anything else before you guys leave? Is there anything that you want to share that I perhaps didn't ask you?
No, I think that'll be all for me.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
a lot of high school students are getting information from parents, and so it's so important that parents are involved with trying to figure out these career choices. I get a lot of because I'm a parent also of a will be senior in high school. Parents, and now I'm the head of this podcast, so they know that I'm looking into careers. Parents are questioning me, and there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation about how much even people should expect to make for a career. So this even just delving into careers, but then at the end of the day, how much you plan to make. There's a lot of just gray area there that has not been put out in the forefront. You really need to be a sleuth in order to know how to find that information. So we want to kind of open up the myth and divulge this information to as many people as possible. Parents and high school students, I hope you're the most ones listening, because you'll have the most influence on the choices of your children.
The right career choice will give you and your loved ones security now and the future. The best careers at lower tuition fees. Next generation job security. Six-figure income security. Financial independence and a chance at early retirement. Hot Next Gen Careers, LLC, is at the cutting edge of next generation careers. Secure a brighter future. Contact us today for more details.
Correct, Pat. You're correct. All right, love that share. Alice, anything that you want to share before you guys leave?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. One last question for both parties. What would you say to a young person at high school who are not certain about what career path they want to go on? And even they are certain, perhaps it might be the wrong path. What would you say to them, taken from your experience in working with Michelle?
I would say that like definitely don't miss the opportunity to explore and expand your knowledge, and like don't be scared or afraid to ask like the people around you, since you never know if they are well informed or like if they're not.
Okay. And the most informed person to talk to will be Michelle, right? Because she is a guru at these career paths. Okay. Next, Wilfredo.
I would say just take your time, because there's so many careers that you can actually explore, and don't rush into things, because I feel like that's gonna lead you to a job that you don't like doing in the future. So I just say take your time and don't be afraid. Soon things will just come to you, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And I guess you would definitely say talk to Michelle, and she would be your best career guide, right?
Yeah.
I hope. Let's see. I'm learning too. I'm learning right alongside of these guys. We're just getting started. It's very interesting to have these interviews with you, with a lot of different guests that we plan to have on from different school programs, universities, 2-year, 4-year, different companies that are hiring this kind of next generation type of jobs. We want to hear from all of them. And as we learn, we're learning together. It's a learning environment. And we look forward to putting that information out there in the podcast to reach as many people and help as many young learners who are looking for a career path as possible to be most informed and get the most money, the most bang for their buck.
You got it. Bang for your buck, like that. Wilfredo, I want to say that I'm confident that you're in safe hands and with Michelle. And I'm so happy that you have identified a career path that you are happy and excited about. And also you along with getting, bang for your bucks, I know that, you're not going to be struggling with student loan debt. Your parents is not going to be struggling with student loan debt for a very long time. So I'm excited to see your path in the future as you optimize your knowledge in the artificial intelligence. And Alice, same to you. I know you're in good hands, and I'm certainly excited to see perhaps you becoming the next Oprah on stage as an influencer. So good luck to you guys. You're in safe hands, and it was great talking with you guys. So you take care, right? All right, Michelle, that was pretty great. You have two exceptional, talented mentees that are there with you. But I want us to do a little bit more deep dive into what started you to research alternative career paths. And I really want to say, I cannot say how happy and excited I am that you've actually done this, because it is necessary. And I do believe that sometimes people talk about the fact that we need an academic audit, but no one is actually doing anything about it. You have decided that enough is enough. You have taken the horn by the bull, or the bull by the horn, and you have started to do work in this regard. What get you started? What inspired you? What pushed you to start your research career path, build your program, and now making it visible to the world?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I spent a lot of my whole life doing checking the boxes of what other people told me I should do, getting the great grades so that I could go to the great university, highly acclaimed, expensive. Had to make it work somehow, incurred debt, and then join the military. No small feat, to learn Mandarin, which again I thought, and it is marketable, but so I was trying to, and then becoming a teacher, trying to check the boxes of what I thought I was supposed to do, what other people told me, this is what you need to do to be successful. When I saw that was getting me to, like you said, paycheck to paycheck, I was happy to have a paycheck, but is that what life is all about? Just living for a paycheck? And AI, we're all hearing about it, and equally teachers are equally nervous about AI's kind of takeover. And so I started to look at ChatGPT. I love it. I love AI. And I want people to also love it and embrace it and not feel fear. I want people to feel hope with AI, not that scared that their job will be taken over. I want, and because I also have a child who will be soon going to college, I really felt that it was very pertinent for this moment, with the clash of my daughter needing this information now before she picks a program of study in college that she will regret. I thought others could really learn from this also, and then AI started to come up and up in the past year. And I think it was actually January 1st, on the new year, I asked ChatGPT to come up with 25 hot trending what will be the jobs of the future. Of the 25 jobs that ChatGPT came up with, I didn't even recognize more than half of those 25. The names of them are new names of things that you've never even heard of. So I started to be excited, be scared. What on earth is going on? I'm in a profession where I talk to a lot of people. For my day job, I'm in real estate, and so I talk to a lot of people trying to qualify for apartments, for houses. I know about what people are doing for careers and how much money they're making, because oftentimes I'm the one dealing with their application to get in the door. And I'm seeing that people are working very hard, too many hours, and their paychecks aren't very good. And so I decided that I really thought that people should know, especially young people, before they make the decision to spend all this money for their four-year colleges, that they should really know about the future of jobs and how it's changing. I also know that some jobs, like I said, quantum, math jobs that are paying way more than $100,000 a year for 20-something-year-olds who graduated with certain degrees. That's unreal to me. So I thought, okay, it should not be in the hands of the elite few who have a couple of parents who know about these jobs. That's not fair. So I wanted it to be more equal for everybody to know about these jobs, that you can get a degree in this and come out and be offered six-figure salary. I never knew about those kind of jobs when I started. I wish I did, because I would have made different decisions. So I started looking into the future of work, where technology and global events and societal shift will be crucial for anyone looking to make informed career decisions. I think this is necessary information that needs to get out to as many people as possible.
I want to thank you for being brave. I want to thank you for being courageous. I want to thank you for being a leader, because very often we see, you're qualified. You have a master's degree in education. You have been an educator for quite a number of years. And very often you find that educators just do what they are being paid to do, and that's to educate. And from your standpoint, you are seeing that education is not enough. You can be well educated and still be poor, well educated and still struggling through life. And I'm so happy that you made a conscious decision that you want to make a difference in young people's lives and to make a change. And you're on this journey of doing that. So I'm so impressed by your leadership and your charisma and your bravery. You have started your operation is a little under a year now. You have registered Hot Next Gen Career LLC. What would you say are some of your bigger vision that you have for this institution?
Well, I'll start with the challenges. The challenges, because it's a podcast and I want to interview these next hot up and coming schools and programs and companies, it's hard to get them on board to actually come on the podcast and be interviewed. I don't know if it's, I've asked, this is a very simple example. I went to an Army recruit, or to a recruiting station. Because I'm Army, I went directly to the Army recruiter, because I said, I want to help them get on my podcast to show us, okay, what is the military doing with all of the tech advances to make the military tech savvy, and what are the career options for, I'm not a recruiter, I'm not trying to get people to join the military, but if the military is an option, what are these advances that somebody can train for? Because military is not just push-ups and sit-ups and running, it's really training. Like I got an amazing training in Mandarin Chinese and intelligence. What kind of AI advanced training could somebody get from the military? And I wanted to talk to a recruiter, but the red tape involved is quite enormous. A lot of people don't want to go on the record of saying what kind of great progress their company is making, or they don't think that maybe they're embarrassed that their company is not making the great progress. I'm not sure, but it's a little bit of it's a real gray area out there. People are not ready to come forward and say, I'm changing with time, because maybe they're not, or maybe they don't have the authority to say. And social media, some things can be taken out of context, and so it's hard to get people on the record to say what they're doing for, I'm not sure what reasons. Either they're not doing it, or they're afraid to say it. So it's a lot of me doing a lot of research online and trying to sift through it and trying to get the information out there anyway. Alice and I put on a podcast a few days ago about just what we said, the intro to job trends, where we went through a few articles on the job trends that are out there online. We summarized them. We talked about them. It's challenging to get people to step up and own that the world is changing, that technology is changing their companies, and even maybe they don't have something in place. I think this is really a new frontier for so many companies, schools, like you said, they don't have things put in place, and so they're kind of scrambling perhaps, and me on a podcast asking them in their face might be a bit much. So it is challenging to find people that are embracing the newness of what's going on in the career frontier. We had an interview with We Cloud Data Academy, which like Wilfredo was saying, it's really an amazing company that has these programs and certificate programs in AI type of careers that are 6 months long, 3 months long, and they're trying to get their word out there. And it's challenging for them too, because it's one thing to put the information out there, it's another to have an audience that is ready to listen or willing to listen.
Okay.
The right career choice will give you and your loved ones security now and the future. The best careers at lower tuition fees. Next generation job security. Six-figure income security. Financial independence and a chance at early retirement. Hot Next Gen Careers, LLC, is at the cutting edge of next generation careers. Secure a brighter future. Contact us today for more details.
What I want to say, the challenges to break through, from my analysis, is multifaceted, and we have done some work in the U.S. market in terms of breaking into some of these markets. We have received some favorable response, and some not so favorable. But what we have seen is that very often persons are not receptive to change. So that's one of the biggest hurdles that you have to push against. And of course, we have seen that persons have become comfortable with the status quo. And when persons become comfortable with status quo and they're in a position of leadership where they are benefiting from that status quo, they tend not to entertain new, innovative, creative ideas. However, what I want to say to you is that from the research that we have done, your business model is useful, it's necessary, it's next generation, and it is long overdue. So we'll talk about this some more, and I think what is important is to clearly identify and connect with the ideal client and build up what we call the visibility to reach the impact and optimize client conversion from that standpoint. And I do believe the time will come that everybody will say why we didn't act earlier on the propositions of great thinkers like yourself, Michelle. So you're doing something good, and I want to emphasize that. And we're alongside you to give you that support and to increase your visibility and your reach. We have talked a little bit about what you're doing. I want us to go just a little deeper. Do you intend to start perhaps you're operating up also out of New York? Do you plan to make this program more widespread throughout 50 states and perhaps to reach persons across the world? And tell us a little bit about your plan to expand the reach and the vision that you have in terms of touching and transforming the lives of young people. Because what I can say, what you're doing is not just relevant to America, it's relevant to many parts of the world. So you have a very strong business model. But I just want to hear it from you.
Yeah,
Your
So when I was a high school teacher, I noticed that this trend of people really, the high school students really not knowing where their careers would lead. Again, they seem to be kind of stuck in the rut of whatever their parents told them, with parents with their best of intentions, saying be a doctor, study medicine, and then people like Wilfredo, who didn't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, or didn't feel like he had the academic capacity. We know that they all do, but some students feel that in their own mind, they feel that they're not set out for many years of studying. Let's face it, to be a doctor or a lawyer, so many years of commitment, you really need to commit. So they would say, I would hear a lot of, I'm going to be an influencer, I'm going to be a YouTube sensation, I'm going to be a TikTok whatever it's influencer or whatever they're called. And although I'm not knocking that, because people do that, but not everybody can do that, and not everybody, if the only options out there are YouTube influencer, doctor, lawyer, or teacher, that's a little bit narrow. So, and or a Michael Jordan, famous basketball player. So realistic expectation, realistic jobs that people might like. Okay, so you like TikTok, I get it. You like technology, you like social media, I get it. What can we do with that where you will have stability, and not everybody is going to be a famous money-making YouTuber, let's just face it. I'm not. And so
Yeah,
everybody needs to see that that's not necessarily an option. But if you like these things, there might be other things that you can do with that information. You don't have to be great at academics or feel that you want to be great at academics in order to be successful in this world. It can't be between a famous basketball player, a YouTube influencer, a millionaire, or a doctor or a lawyer. That's just, there's more out there that people can be successful with, and you don't have to be academically strong or academically the best or go to Harvard in order to get at those options.
I do believe that what you're hinting on directly and indirectly is you need to follow the data. And if you're going to be choosing a career path, what does the data say? Yes, I'm going to be academically qualified. I am going to get, there's going to be job opportunity. Am I going to be able to earn a decent amount to live the quality of life that I deserve, that my spouse deserve, that my kids deserve? And is the career going to give me that type of opportunity? I do believe that very often, yes, parents want their children to go down a traditional career path, but the data, they don't have the data that basically says that they're going to be successful based on these data points. And very often you find young people and they choose a career path, and it happens to be an emotional decision. I did it because I see a superstar. I did it because of, these factors. So what I'm loving about what you're doing also, you are looking at the data points, because the data points that you have just mentioned, you're looking at job trends for now, you're looking at job trends for the future, and you're looking at the potential to earn based on that trajectory. Some of the things you talk about, you're earning more than that, $100,000 per month, per year, and you're doing this data analysis. And I think that really helps the student candidate to be able to make a better, a more solid, a more rounded and educated decision in terms of why they're actually choosing a big career path. So I really love that. Michelle, what I want to do now, there's so much that I want us to talk about, but there's only so much that we can bring out in one sitting. So I know that we're going to be doing these type of interviews more frequently. And so what I want to spend some time doing now is talking to you a little bit about habits. Habits that push you forward, habits that pulls you back. I want us to do a rapid question and answer session here. The first question I want to put to you is, what habits do you think influences success? And I feel comfortable asking you these questions because you are a successful academic. You have a master's degree in education. You have been practicing in your craft as an educator. You have started your business, which is Hot Next Gem Career LLC, which you have attained a fair degree of success with that. And you have been working with young people. You have a military background, you have served and you have served successfully. You have all of this success behind you. You host a podcast, you're building up that podcast. What would you say are habits that influences success?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I have a, what's it called? I do books on tape. I do books on tape summaries. I have a great subscription that allows me to have a summary of like a 12 to 16 minute summary of some books on tape. And I listen to that when I do the dishes. I listen to that when I'm at the gym, about how to be a more effective leader, how to be a more effective negotiator, how to be a more effective listener, how to have better company standards. So there are a lot of different things that one can listen to. I think is important. What you tell yourself is the number one habit that I would say to anybody out there. And I've given some of these examples of these books on tape. I've had some of my interns listen to some of it, because what you are telling yourself about your capabilities is extremely important. If you have something in your ear giving you strategies of what is the good way to do it, because I don't know on my own, I don't necessarily have the time to read book after book. But I know from Napoleon Hill, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that highly effective people read. For me, I don't, like I said, it's in this busy world, I don't necessarily take the time to read. So I listen to it on tape. Listen to summaries of highly effective people, I think, is one great habit, because what you tell yourself about what you can and can't do is very important. Then to break down schedules into, like I tell my interns, like, because they're high school students and they're used to periods of 45-minute blocks, I think life is kind of mirrored of that. That if you think of life as 45-minute blocks, like one period, that you can do something for 45 minutes and then you take a 15-minute break. Then you can do something else for 45 minutes and then take a break. Maybe after those 2 45-minute blocks, you need a longer break, like a lunch break or a walk around the park break. And that's perfectly great. But if you block out your time like that, then I think everything is attainable. And if you even miss a 45-minute block where you had blocked out to yourself, okay, now I'm going to study biology, and you miss that, you sleep through it. Okay, so that's just one 45-minute block that you played hooky on. You still have your other blocks of time. You could maybe fit that in later if you overslept. So I think the way that one sees time is important, to chunk it in a manageable way so that life doesn't, or any type of studying or learning doesn't feel overwhelming. And then one last thing, and I'll get off of it, is this idea of continuous learning, that we all have to bend so that we don't break. And that means me, that means you, that means Alice, Wilfredo, and everybody else, because in this world, we all are going to have to bend. It's an ever-changing world, maybe more so, or maybe quicker than it ever has been. I mean, there's always change. But we all have to be flexible and continuously willing to bend and learn and continuously learn in order to be relevant to the time.
I love that you said that, we all would have been. It remind me of a statement that I always make, in this world and in life, you can be influenced by others. And that's a part of bending, physically or mentally. And the other flip side of the coin is that you can learn enough and master your craft where you're the innovator and you're getting people now to bend to your vision, to your image, to your liking. Beautifully said. Michelle, you are also an author. You have written the book New Career for Teenagers. And in my next interview, I want us to do a deep dive into that book. And because I do believe that that book has so much of information that can help young people to make better, smarter, wiser career choices. But just give us a sneak peek into what that book is all about.
Yeah, sure. So we start out where we're looking at the data. Again, this is new information that we're looking at. We're talking about the future of jobs. Nobody has a crystal ball. So we're taking our best guesses based on information that is out there that hopefully is trustworthy. We don't know. So we need the more information that we can get is relevant. There's not so much information out there about future jobs. There's some, and so we're looking into the reports that are out about the trends. We're looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics of what they say that are the trends. And then we're looking at, like I mentioned, these 25 careers that I asked AI, I asked Chat GPT on January 1st to come up with, that I didn't even understand. It was like I was reading Russian when I read the names of these. So I want to do a deep dive into these 25 careers, because some of them, quite a lot of them, are highly profitable when I did a deep dive into them. So the book takes a deep dive into each one of these 25 careers, how to get started on them, where are the best school programs for them, how much money do they make, which companies are hiring this type of career, like that. And then finally, I'm going into some, like I said, the best 4-year colleges for these types of careers, the best 2-year colleges, the best certificate programs for these type of hot and trending next generation careers. And that's kind of the summary of the book. We do go through some companies. You were talking about me in New York City versus the whole world. We do have some New York City centric things, programs and schools and companies. That is going to be, I think, a separate book, because I do want to make it more general to the more universal than I can get specific about New York City. Also, for the fun of my internship, which is Forest Hills High School in Queens, in Forest Hills, New York City. But for the whole world, I will be talking in general and not specifically to about New York.
Awesome. All right, Michelle, I must say it has been such a pleasure talking with you today. There's so much more that we have to cover, but just before we close today, I want to ask you, is there something that you want to say about what you're doing that perhaps I didn't ask? I want to give you an opportunity to, take this time to just express yourself.
Okay. Yes, thank you. The work world, like, what do companies want to companies need is really changing so much. And the leadership style, we talked about my leadership style as being more interconnected and less about the top down. This type of leadership style, management style of companies will also need to get with the program, because leaders that that are older, wiser, have more money, are then relying on 20-something-year-olds to do all of the heavy lifting with the technology. That does not seem to make sense to me. So I hope for the future that companies and management styles and leadership styles will really take on a more listening approach to the younger generation, and how to incorporate them in a more meaningful way, instead of I'm at the top, you're at the bottom, I'm paying your salary, just do this, sit down, do it, then go home and collect your paycheck. That does not seem to work anymore. And so I look forward to diving into what does work, what management style we should be attaining as companies and as managers, as business owners, to allow the young next generation to thrive and not just be the pawns in our game. I'm, in fact, exactly the opposite. I think we're the pawns in their game, and I'm excited to explore that. Yeah,
I really love how you said it. They're the pawns in our game.
we're the pawns in their game.
Okay,
We are.
yeah.
We're going to be. And I look forward to that. I said to Wilfredo and Alice, I'm teaching you this so that you can take over from me, or that you can go above and beyond. I want you to either take over my company or make yourself a better one. Now that you're going to get the skills, I hope that you do that, because they need to take over. You and I, well, you're younger than me. I'm getting to the point of going out of the work world, and I want to prepare it for my daughter. I want to prepare it for Wilfredo and Alice, for Forest Hills High School, and for the rest of the younger generation. I want them to have a hope that we're giving them this great asset to do something meaningful, and that there's hope in AI, not despair. Okay. There is some despair, because there are some jobs that will be eliminated. But as long as we know about those jobs, and we don't go out and go studying and spend a lot of money to try to get those jobs that are going to be obsolete, we could help ourselves and make the change that we want to become in the world.
Exactly. Well, I must say that you are a perfect demonstration of servant-driven leadership. And we'll talk more perhaps in the next interview of what shaped you as a servant-driven leader. But I love what you do. And I do believe that you're playing a very significant role in the lives of so many young persons today. And that for me is living from purpose. And I truly want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep creating that massive ripple effect in the lives of young people. It has been a pleasure talking with you today, Michelle. And I'm looking forward to doing much more of these chats with you and really helping the world to understand things from your perspective. So thanks for taking the time to spend with me today and to sharing your essence with my audience and the world.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. I look forward to talking to you again.
Pleasure is all mine.
The right career choice will give you and your loved ones security now and the future. The best careers at lower tuition fees. Next generation job security. Six-figure income security. Financial independence and a chance at early retirement. Hot Next Gen Careers, LLC, is at the cutting edge of next generation careers. Secure a brighter future. Contact us today for more details.